4:53 p.m. Confirm. Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. I had to launch it one more time before this because it wasn't working. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 o'clock and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set your clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whatever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Alright, so that was something for sure. Welcome, everyone, to the Stanley Parable. This is the Ultra Deluxe edition. I played this game back, probably in 2014, a little bit after it came out. I didn't record it or anything, it was just for fun. But I saw that this game came out. Apparently there's a lot more endings now, and it's got some changes, I guess. I'm not sure. Let's just go for it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. I'm in control now. Let's head out of the office and actually turn the narrator down a little bit.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay, I think that's good. I'll turn my sound effects down as well. Okay, so...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I would like... Haha, 420. I would like to apologize really briefly for any echoiness or loud thumps you hear. I'm just moved into my apartment. I have, my desk set up, and that's about it. I don't have any soundproofing or any other furniture right now. It's kind of sad, but... that's what I got going on.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, for the Stanley Parable, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a very,
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
So the Stanley Parable is very, choice-oriented.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet.
It will react to anything you do?
Here. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It's a very, like, I don't know, it's a cool game. I like it a lot.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I'm pretty sure that if you
by simply pushing
if you
random
put
buttons on the keypad,
it in
Stanley
wrong
happened
enough
to
times,
input the correct
it will
code
also just
by
open
sheer
for you.
luck. Amazing.
Pretty sure.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Let's go down the elevator. But yeah, very choice oriented. You can do really anything. And when I played it, I got all the
Descending
different
deeper into the building,
endings.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Go back up.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I just saw that it lit up, so yeah, but like you can like that going back upstairs.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
I'm
Ladies and
pretty sure I
gentlemen,
could keep doing
how
this.
does he keep coming up with all of this?
Like, I could keep going up and down, I'm sure. But no, I'll actually continue through and do the...
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I think my favorite ending was the adventure ending, so I'm gonna try to get that one as well, but this is the, like, true ending.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of
427,
an
I think?
employee in the
Yeah,
building,
427, there it
Stanley's
is.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Wait, what about 430? Because that's a, oh, what the fuck? What does that say? Zoom! I don't know what it says. I'll put it in post.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
So you can either leave it on or turn it off. Or I guess turn it on or leave it off. I'll go ahead and turn it off. It's a true ending, but...
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Is that a bridge?
And that was
Is that a
all he
bridge in
needed to
Rome?
know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
He's free! Beat the game, get your first achievement. The end is never the end is never the end. The bucket did not react. Wait, what was that subtitle? What the fuck was that? Something about the bucket.
What did it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement?
See if it's different.
Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door! Yes!
Yay, we did it.
Wow. That felt amazing.
I'm sure.
Oh, you really
I'm
earned
sure
it,
that felt
Stanley.
great.
Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Alright, so now that I've done that, I'm going to try to get the adventure ending, which I believe...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
And then you take the
And so he
open
detoured
door,
through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the
and then you
opposite
can
door,
go down this
and on
lift.
track.
And I believe this will get you to the adventure ending, if I'm remembering correctly.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go...
Okay, so yeah, this is the adventure ending.
From here, it's, left.
Left.
Oh, no, it's to the right.
To
My
the
mistake.
right. Take it back now, y'all.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now.
Ooh.
This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay, and then I guess down these stairs. Oh, and then this is this little thing that I saw earlier.
This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
I mean, I can turn around, but I still see stuff.
Oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely
Aw,
unusable.
buddy, it's
How about,
not.
rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Okay, the end is never the end is never the end.
All of
And
his
then-
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
What
memo.
should happen is when I walk into this room, there's too many doors.
Wait, what? No, no, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
My presence
did you move
changed
the
something.
story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago.
Sorry
I
about
know
my
for
desk.
sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find
So
the story.
those two would logically lead us to the story. But I believe that they just loop around with each other. Yeah, because they'll just lead you back to... So it's kind of a maze now. They all got twisted around. Ooh. Let's go down this one. Into this. And then I think we'll get stuck in a loop.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've
I'm
ever
back
been
here.
on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Alright, the end is never the end is never the end. And then I
All
think
of his co-workers were gone.
this time
What
when
could
we
it
walk
mean?
in, there should be no
Stanley
doors.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, no
Okay,
doors.
yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
And then I don't remember what happens exactly after this point. Someone spilled their coffee. See an open door over there. See a couple of open doors.
Aha! I knew we'd
No.
missed something.
Oh, okay. This is the part I was thinking
story.
of where we start
Here
looping.
it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
And now we're in a completely different part of the building,
Now
and
this-
now we're
Well, I'll be honest. I don't
somewhere
recognize this
else
place at all.
completely.
Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
Oop, and the door I
is
came
that
in
correct?
is gone.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yay! I
know you put in
won!
a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that
I mean,
win.
I got lost.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
The end is never the end is never the end.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to
The
make
Stanley
sure we
Parable
don't get
Adventure
lost, I've
Line.
employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
What if I didn't follow the line? Oh, it's just an empty room still. Well, it's got some chairs, but nowhere to go.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though,
Dead
here's
end.
a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, Is this
Take
office,
that.
in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Anyway.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern.
I already took a picture.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
I took a
You
picture.
won't want to miss anything.
I don't actually know if the fern is important for anything.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this...
Oh, and we're back to here.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
The end is never the end is never the end. Okay, line is still there.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay, whatever you say, home dog.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use
Fantasy,
your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
sci-fi
I'm ready for
mashup
it.
of a warrior who
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley,
lost
I'd also
their
like
way.
to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
The warrior lost their way, and then we had to be rescued.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a
Oh,
minute.
I gotta walk this way.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the
Well, the
answer
left
is clearly
door
yes, then by all accounts,
is the
door
correct
on
one.
the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
And then here's this.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
Ending
You're telling
schedule.
me that's what this is?
Forget.
It's all one giant ending?
Starts
And we're
on
supposed to
road.
restart the game, what, eight
Identical
times?
replica that's begun to deteriorate.
That's really how all this
Attempt to make
goes?
a story.
It's all
There
determined?
is no longer an office.
So now, according to the schedule, I
One
restart
weapon,
again.
story
Then what?
accordingly.
Am I just supposed to forget?
Narrator
What if I
is
don't
gone.
want to forget?
After a long
My
time,
mind
Stanley
goes
dies.
blank simply because it's
That
written
sounds
here on
kinda
this
scary.
thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say
We
in
made
all of
it
this?
to
Is it really?
here. We're on the
No, it
fourth.
can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
And
Does
then
that mean, did we do it?
so this
Did
is
we
the
break the
adventure
cycle?
ending I was talking about.
Whatever it is that made this schedule. How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
Oh, and
I guess now
it
we just
doesn't matter
wait.
which door you
know,
go through.
I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh god. That kind of spooked me. I think it broke, and so it forcibly restarted. If you stayed in your office, the door will just close on you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And I think new content is open now.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video
This
game
feels a
released
lot
in
like,
2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in
intro to
2022 with the Stanley
one
Parable
FNAF game.
Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Damn,
Oh,
it's
well,
not even
this
a normal
sounds
door.
delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Really slow.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The jump. Oh,
right.
jumping. We can jump.
All right, let's see. It's
This is a game
the
where you can't jump.
circle.
Because in the original game, you can't jump. Oh, and I can't jump anymore. Damn. They didn't even keep it implemented.
Is that it? Surely that's
This is
not all
so
the new
fucking
content.
sad.
There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
I mean, it
If
feels
this is
kinda
new
like
content,
Portal.
Then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours
Jumping
of
in
new content right there.
elevators.
Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that
That
on
was
the
a
box.
joke, by the way.
Stanley
That was
Parable
a
Ultra
joke.
Deluxe, now with over
I like the
1,000
Portal
hours
games.
of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes, I knew there had to be something else.
I know I'm kind of talking over him, but
I'm
he
ready for
talks a
whatever
lot,
it
so...
is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Goddamn.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Sure, bud. The end is never the end is never the end. Yeah. He's
Stanley,
in there.
come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something. Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway.
Well, I want to see where this goes. It just goes back to the normal story, I think. So, sure.
Oh, never mind. You're a dork.
It's fine, you can call me a dork. I'm kind of a dork. A mug and a screwdriver. The end is never the end is never the end.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a
Very
look.
pretty.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see,
Steam
Stanley,
page,
doesn't the Memory
Zone
Zone
Sweet
remind you of
Zone.
how wonderful Stanley Parable was
Stanley
before
Parable
it was sullied with a
Collector's
cheap
Edition.
re-release? Remember
Audience
back in
Award, The
October
Stanley
of
Parable in
2013, when the game
2014.
originally launched. Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all
The
meant
Last of
something.
Us.
Oh, the waste.
Good times. Different pictures of the game. The original oh yeah, because there was a game before the 2013 version, which you can find videos of still on YouTube, but it's like 2008 or something. It's old as hell. Why is there just a framed dollar bill? Trip down memory lane. I guess that was the demo. Go outside. Unachievable. I got both of those achievements, but I don't remember how I got the unachievable. New video game releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Colleges show uneven effort to enroll poor. Costs hinder new track to achieve diversity. Oh my god. Why is this? This is too fucking real. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. And that's pretty much all I can read. June 7th, 2013.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now
That dates this
it's
game.
nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk.
Honorable
rather.
mention,
A
nominating 2
lifeless
winners.
husk with an
A
hour
winner,
of
official
new
selection,
elevator
honorable
content.
mention, honorable mention. The maintenance. Stanley Parable, the original, had 2 doors. Code. This is probably in whatever coding it was made. I'm pretty sure that's Stanley in there. Some of the buttons in there. Another review over there. Some more of the buttons. Red and blue door, which you can find elsewhere, but not here.
Here's another moving
Only a
passage,
9 out
this
of
time
10.
from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley?
But
The
that's
game
only a
was
9 out of
perfect.
10.
It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
I mean, sure, but once you played it all, there's no, like, replay value. I think that's kind of the serious room, 2013. I'm pretty sure that's where you get called by the woman, but I might be wrong.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't
have a
recall
glare
this
on my
part of the
monitor.
memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Steam.
Oh, God, no.
Reviews.
Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam.
Actually,
the
I think there
online
was
video
a-
game distributor. I haven't looked at these
I think
in
it was a
years.
mostly
I can't even imagine what's being
positive
collected down here. Surely
based
these
on
reviews were glowing as
recommendations.
well, weren't they?
See, because there's a
Honestly,
good
I could
one.
not be bothered to play this
that
game
one
to
might
full
be a good
completion.
one.
The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
Pretty sure.
Unfunny.
All these ones
I'm not
facing
trying to be
away
funny.
are
I'm trying to make a serious work
positive
of art.
ones.
I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
But yeah, it can be very, I mean, here's a couple of bad ones. But I feel like a lot of the good ones are going to be turned on their face, so you can't see them. But here's another good one. Here's another.
Okay, let's see what this
I think
one
this one's
says.
probably a good one.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Dear.
Homie is
What an
taking these
awful
things
memory
too
to have to
personally.
hold on
Got
to.
some
These
serious
black marks on my
rejection-sensitive
otherwise unimpeachable track
dysphoria.
record. I
But yeah,
feel
it's very real
like a
where you can
failure.
take like one bad
like I let
thing and
these
it's
people
like...
down.
Like there's that
Perhaps
phrase
Stanley
where one
Parable
bad word is
isn't quite as
worth
sterling as I
1,000
always
good ones
remembered.
or something like that. It's very true. And it's not fun to deal with it. And it's just... it's a lot.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch
Well,
up
no,
with
you
these
can interrupt
long-winded
him.
explanations of what's
I'm
happening.
talking over him a
I
lot.
wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my
I
motto.
kind of don't want
I'd
to,
do
though.
anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
But I can't go back up. Because I can't jump. I mean, I really don't want to skip him. I don't want to skip what he says. I think that he's a good narrator. I mean, we could have like a... Ooh. That's kind of trippy, bro. Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty
I
of
saw a
time for
button,
you to deliver a
and my
long,
ADHD
rambling
was
monologue
like,
full of
push.
unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Oh, I think that's awesome. I just want to see if he like says anything else. But I don't think he does. Something else. I'm sorry.
I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depravity rises
That's
the
weird.
phoenix.
It's skipping.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's
Oh,
really
the
only so
door's
much I can
gone.
ramble on to myself about.
I didn't even
know,
notice.
It's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again, or of some kind. I can work with any kind of door, as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do
I won't.
not press the skip button. Just
I won't.
wait here for me, and don't press the skip button.
I won't.
Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
So, unfortunately, I'm sorry, sir.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen
Clearly,
there.
he did not find
I
a
don't know
door.
why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. I have no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what happened. I have no idea how the button is here. And more than anything else, I can't stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything, so I have to leave. I have no snob. No matter how much I give you, you're going to press the button again. Would you? Are you thinking? I don't know why you're doing this. Oh my God. It's all because of the reviews. I have no idea who they are.
Just tell. You work sometimes, I'm sorry.
Here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to those reviews.
Okay, so it just
those reviews that I
loops.
couldn't get out of my head. I just. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're
Only one
back.
light is on,
Oh, my
and I can't
goodness.
see
I have someone
anything.
to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Oh,
I've been
God.
sitting here all that time. Just sitting here, listening to the music. And you think that that's just how it's always been. Me talking, you say nothing. What do you think that is exactly the same always? Doesn't that feel like what you're me just talking? Isn't it simple? Isn't it close? Because I know you can't hear me much of what happened. That's what I'm realizing, Stanley. I'm realizing that I need to know that someone was listening. I need to hear the vessel. Prove my words were moving. It was the vessel I need, Stanley. Yeah, I'm sorry. None of that anymore. I'll give it all. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my stories to the ground. One single thing I need. God, I think I need more than anything is to know that someone else is taking in. These words I'm saying, I need to know you hear me. Because when you say me, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I'm scared this whole time. Then I stop, I'll sit backwards in silence and consume light. I can't change myself, Stanley. I can't lose myself to stretch between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there. I know you're so tremendously far away. In those moments, the edge of this folds itself outward between the two of us. And I just said it's unyielding brightness. I can feel the edges of my reality curling inward and decaying. I can tell that I'm becoming less and less real. Yes, you now. I'm alive. I'm truly completely here. I'm a being. I'm someone. I'm something. I'm being listened to. I'm being recognized. The edges between us are I feel right now, I am not a fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again. And I cast a shadow on the wall. This is my signature. You see what this means to me. As a clear right now, Stanley. I feel so nice.
Wait, do you want to see it?
I feel new. I feel restored. I accept the luminous silence. As you press the button for the next time. Whatever great strokes in my heart is
Because I don't want to leave him alone.
Let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
I'm sorry, but the clock getting on my nerves. Is it broken this time? Oh,
Hello.
I can't
It's you. You're here again.
see.
Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track
stopped
after
working.
a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. There's only 10 people in this function. I've nothing for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months, and it's all a blur of the deepest longing to undo about. And the feeling of inside. What space? It's like the only side that collapses every moment I've ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapse down into a single instant. In that instant, I can see myself clearly, calmly, with a collective heart. It was impossible to be both the simultaneously.
I'm sorry. This fan's going on. Something's happening outside. Maybe that's just that fan looking through this place. Oh, the iPhone's enough. That's kind of annoying. There,
They can understand that things no mentally funny point. It's a street to they entertain us. They have to leave the fun sound all their episode amount of them. You talk too much. It's shut up. It's consistency. It's unwillingness. It's unwillingness. The world is in the world. As though no consequence for lack of vision of of course. Absolutely. Of course. Get your mouth. Everything. Some say, oh, there should be a second. You should be able to say based on the space forever. All is understanding how we do and then because of it. Now, it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires. Every single thing, the moment, every person, every moment in time. If someone wants to describe the being, having to do everything for no reason other than to show, yes, it seems that it's now the world. It seems that there are people doing such weakness and stuff for themselves. They are entertaining our lives. It's time to represent
I'm alive. Let me tell you. Actually, yeah, I'm talking anymore.
The end is never 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 the end.
The end is never the end. Is never the end. Is never the end. I hear water dripping somewhere over here, which means it's probably raining outside right now. I can't really see though. Oh shit. I still can't see, but I can see the plants are starting to mold or vines or something. The building's starting to collapse. I can hear the wind more now. Oh, and now it's snowy? A little icy, maybe? You heard a fly. Now it's overgrown. You can see a tree outside. Several trees. And now it's dark and cold and frankly a little bit scary. And there's no sound at all. Or nope, there's definitely a sound. I want to get out of here as fast as possible. Thank you. Oh, and now the skip button's broken. Or at least knocked over. Oh, and now we got buried under the ground. Some clouds. Dust. That single room in the middle of a wasteland. This has to be so far into the future. Centuries, if not millennia. I'm just like, damn. This is a little bit crazy, not gonna lie. Oh. The end is never the end is never the end. And now we're back here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Haha.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay, so it's at this point where I should be able to find new content. Let's...
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Ooh. We changed course. Oop, that's... okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one
what the fuck?
step even further.
Am I?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. Oh. The end is never the end again.
Yes,
For
you
2-7.
see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory
Time
we'll
to wake
cover
up.
with a fully fledged sequel. An
Welcome to
entirely
Investor's
new experience, built
Investor
from the ground up.
Showcase.
Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in
Tastes.
so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable
less
2,
of a mouthful
now
for sure.
that's an
Mouthful.
artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
New content is out. New content part 2 is in. Old and busted. New hotness. Boring sections of the chart. Cool red section of the chart. They're back. The 2 doors. Slideshow. Thanks for attending my meeting. The fern. Are those my pictures of the fern? Is that a real life picture of a fern? I think that's a real life fern. E. More tablespoon, better tablespoon, win-win scenario. Sequential mind share, paradigm shift, synergy, brick and mortar approach, envelope, client-centric marketing. The color red. Leverage holistic value, 1 to 2. L plus
Now, to be
ratio.
clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Interesting, interesting. Ooh. Big.
Here we are. Go
That's
on.
new.
Try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player playing the game.
For the Stanley
Oh,
Parable
gosh.
2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person
Let's see if he
playing
gets it
the
right.
game. Isn't that... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
I
But
see.
of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay,
I am
here we
now
go.
Jim.
Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget who you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
Okay.
Sleeping and waking as Jim. Falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim.
All right.
Seizing all of the world's
I'm
possibilities as Jim,
synergizing
and as Jim, watching your dreams
Jim
crumble into
in
dust.
my brain.
Do you feel it deeply?
Yes,
Are you
I
really,
feel it.
truly
I'm Jim.
right now. If
I am
so, then
Jim.
Please step forward and press the button.
I am Jim.
Jim.
Yes!
Yes. That is me.
What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
It hits even
I'm
harder the
Jim.
second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Somebody who's trans and or non-binary is definitely going to have like a moment where they're like, shit, do I want to be called Jim?
I suppose
Trust
I could
me.
allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
No,
that
no,
would
no,
actually
that would
save
be-
me the work of finishing this feature.
Please, no screenshots. Ha ha ha. Oops, someone's beeping. Ha! New features, new content, new ideas. The button of the player, jump circle, infinite hole. So there's that stuff over there, but I did see this little thing over here that I want to peek into. Epilogue. Oops. I feel like I'm gonna get lost in here. Collectibles. Is that supposed to be Stanley? Settings world champion? Ah, it's closed. Okay, so I guess we'll go to...
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Probably this one, because it's...
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted
Gotcha.
all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Gotcha.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
The bucket!
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic
bucket?
sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Is it?
You see,
Oh, it's
Stanley,
coming down.
anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may
Bucket.
even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
Give
And
me
to
the
be
bucket.
honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me
I
than
want the
actually
bucket.
redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the
He said a
perfect
swear.
Come on, give it a try.
I have
Can
a bucket.
you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair,
Can I put it
must
on my head?
already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
I can
The
put it on a
benefits of the
stool.
bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
So I have to put it back. Or no, I don't. I can carry my bucket with me. Bucket.
Does
But
anyone
says
give out
this
awards for
Jim.
most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I guess I'll go check the free achievement. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. No more steps.
Now, here's
Pop it.
something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Is there a button I can press that make it so I can... God damn it. What if I press it? Throw my bucket at it. Will that make it work? Okay,
What else?
so
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
this way. Can you find them? Can you find them? Can you find them?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle
What
the
the
intrinsic
hell?
joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move
fuck?
the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh god. That kind of startled me. Oh. Okay. Thank you.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Okay, so I don't know. Okay, so I still need to get to the jump circle. The merch. I got the been to the echo. I think all I have left is the jump circle and the exit. No jumps remaining.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well.
Oh, do not
I
have to use
suppose
them
it
all?
can just be a nice decorative piece
I
then.
wonder what it would be like if I didn't actually end up using all my jumps there. I guess we'll move towards the exit. Let's see. Isn't the exit this way? Is it not? How do I get out? Because I've looked at the collectibles. I haven't seen the infinite hole yet. That would be this way. Alright, so towards the infinite hole we go. Opening rim. Depth is infinite in the surrounding area. More hole. Depth, space, science? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling.
Can I actually
You can
fall out?
until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Should I jump down it?
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then,
Okay.
since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can
Teleport
continue
button.
onward.
Geez.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Interesting. I don't know if I have anything else to check out, though. Around this way? I think it might be around this way. There we go, exit.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready
Saw
to move
everything
on
I
now?
think I could. I believe I saw everything. Stanley's got a bunch of shit in him.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
mean,
Yes, I
yeah,
know it's not
they're-
exactly clear yet how
they're
exactly
okay.
these features will come
Unlike the
together
bucket.
as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
I mean, it still mostly just looks like a presentation. I'm
Who am I
sorry.
kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Ooh. I actually don't mind this new one. It's kind of trippy, not gonna lie. Let's see what we have in here.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building way out of his office.
Alright, so already we have the balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, have the bucket. Can I pick it up?
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I pick up bucket. Oh, I got bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I go downstairs. Oh,
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only
sure,
the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
but I mean, I like to collect things. Might not get anything for them, but I still like to collect them.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket.
If you're
The bucket
talking to
returned
a
his
bucket,
gaze, but said nothing at
I
all.
think so.
That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket.
Oh, God.
Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what
My bucket
sorts of bizarre
disappeared.
hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my
This is
bucket, I've
different.
gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Oh, God.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next.
Oh,
None
no.
of them
Oh,
were
my
his.
God. There's so
None
many.
of them were
Oh,
his
oh my
special bucket.
God. There's so many. Oh, my fucking
To
Christ.
find the bucket, he had to return to his old friend. It was
Is this
the
my
only way to
bucket?
truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
He was the bucket.
Painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
Oh my God,
But on
she's
this
holding the
particular day,
bucket.
her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Backflipped. The end is never the end is never the end. Oop, got one of the different offices this time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Does he remind me I should go back for the bucket?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
No,
doors,
he does not.
he entered the door on his left.
Alright, well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave this one off there. If anybody knows about the original Stanley Parable game, you will know that that ending is Stanley going mad because he thinks he's dreaming. And he's imagining the narrator in his head, and he thinks he's dreaming, and he ends up having like a heart attack and dying on the sidewalk, and then Mariella, the woman, finds him. It's very intense, to say the least. That's why I was having such a weird reaction, because I was not expecting him to go crazy from not having a bucket. But yeah. So this is the Stanley Parable Deluxe Edition, Stanley Parable 2. I will bring more of it to you guys as soon as I can. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment something in the comment section. If the subscribe button is big and red, as it might be, you should click it, because that means you're not one of the few % of viewers that are actually subscribed. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.